Now lean back, take a deep breath, and leave all the noise behind. I'm going to take you to a very peaceful place by the sea, where the stars shine bright, the town of Moonlight. Our story begins there, with a sweet girl named Luna and her heart full of wonder. If you're ready, our tale begins now. Star Collector and the Dream Garden. Chapter 1. The Small Town. By the edge of the sea, hidden among green hills, lay a small town called Moonlight. It was such a peaceful place that you would wake up to the chirping of birds in the morning and fall asleep to the gentle whisper of the sea waves at night. In Moonlight, at the highest point of the hills, stood an old lighthouse. It had been there for centuries, guiding ships passing through the sea every night. The keeper of the lighthouse was elderly Grandpa Nahir. He was known for his long white beard and eyes that always seemed to be smiling. A 10-year-old girl named Luna also lived in the town. Luna's greatest trait was her curiosity. She wanted to know everything, to discover everything. She especially loved watching the sky, the stars, and the moon. Luna's mother ran a small bookstore in town, and her father was a carpenter who made the most beautiful wooden toys. Luna also had a gray-furred cat named Gümüş, Silver. Gümüş was Luna's best friend, and every night they would sit together by the window and watch the stars. One summer evening, Luna was sitting by her window as usual, watching the sky. That night the sky was brighter than ever. The stars seemed closer, and the moon hung in the sky like a giant silver hot air balloon. Luna picked up Gümüş and whispered, "I wish I could touch the stars. I wonder what it would feel like." Just then something strange happened. A star streaked across the sky. But it wasn't an ordinary shooting star. Leaving a trail of golden yellow light, it fell right into Luna's garden. Luna jumped up in excitement. "Gümüş, did you see that? A star fell." Her cat joined her with a meow. Luna put on her slippers and quietly slipped into the garden. Her parents were reading in the living room, and she didn't want to disturb them. In the garden, among the rose bushes, there was a brilliant light. As Luna approached, she saw a small stone shining like a diamond. But it wasn't an ordinary stone. It was as if a tiny universe lived inside it, with thousands of little lights shimmering. When Luna picked up the stone, it felt warm and soft. At that moment, she heard a voice from within the stone. "At last, you have found me, young star collector." Luna looked around in astonishment. "Who's speaking?" "I am Astro. I am the star stone, and you are the chosen one, Luna." Chapter 2. The Secret of the Star Stone. Luna looked closely at the stone. The lights inside seemed to be dancing. "The chosen one? What do you mean?" Astro's voice sounded soft and calm, like a whisper. "Long ago, there was a magical place in the sky called the Dream Garden. It was where all beautiful dreams were born. Every night, millions of dream seeds would rain down from the Dream Garden to the world and mingle with people's dreams." Luna listened, mesmerized. Gümüş sat beside her, listening without a single meow. "But one day," Astro continued, "an evil entity called the Dark Cloud took over the Dream Garden. Since then, people's dreams have slowly started to fade. People without dreams began to be unhappy and forgot how to imagine." "That's terrible," said Luna. "What can I do?" "You are the star collector, Luna. You must find the 7 lost star crystals. These crystals have the power to open the gates of the Dream Garden and banish the dark cloud. I am the first crystal. You must embark on a journey to find the other 6. Luna took a deep breath. It felt like a great responsibility, but it was also very exciting. Where do I need to go? First, you must visit Grandpa Nahir. He is a wise man who knows the secrets of the sky. He will guide you. Luna nodded. I will go to the lighthouse first thing tomorrow. That night, when Luna went to bed, she fell asleep holding the starstone. In her dream, she saw a magnificent garden filled with bright stars. There were all kinds of flowers, but they weren't ordinary. They made music, they danced, and each one represented a different dream. The next morning, Luna woke up early. She told her parents she was going to visit Grandpa Nahir. Being used to Luna's curious nature, they gave her permission, telling her to be careful. Luna began walking up the hill with Gümüş. The path was a bit difficult, but the view was magnificent. The town below looked like a toy village, and the sea looked like an endless blue cloth. When she reached the lighthouse, Grandpa Nahir was outside cleaning his telescope. He smiled when he saw Luna. "Ah, young Luna, I was expecting you." Luna was surprised. "You were expecting me? But how?" Grandpa Nahir laughed. "I was a star collector too when I was young, my child. The stars told me you were coming. Come, let's go inside. I have things to tell you." Chapter 3. Grandpa Nahir's Story. The inside of the lighthouse was filled with books, maps, and strange gadgets. Old photos hung on the walls. Grandpa Nahir prepared 2 cups of linden tea and sat across from Luna. 50 years ago, Grandpa Nahir began, I found the starstone just like you. Back then, the dream garden wasn't under threat yet, but I had to collect the star crystals to maintain the balance of the sky. "Did you find the crystals?" asked Corel curiously. "I found 5 of them, but the last ones, they were hidden too well. I grew old and could no longer continue the journey. That's why the stars chose a new collector, and that is you, Luna." Grandpa Nahir stood up and pulled out an old map. There were glowing dots on the map. "Look, this map will show you the locations of the 7 crystals. You've already found the first. The second is in the Whispering Forest, in the nest of the Wise Owl." Corel looked at the map. The Whispering Forest was north of the town, about a half-day's walk away. "How will I go there? My parents won't let me." Grandpa Nahir stroked his beard thoughtfully. "You must tell them the truth, Luna. They might not believe you at first, but when you show them the starstone, they will understand. Also, you don't have to go alone. Gümüş will go with you, and I will give you a magic compass." The old man took a small, gold-colored compass from a drawer. The needle didn't point north like a normal compass. Instead, it pointed toward the nearest star crystal. "This magic compass will always guide you in the right direction. But be careful, Luna. The journey will not be easy. Each crystal has a guardian, and you must prove your worth to them." Corel took the compass. She felt a warm energy in her hand. "Thank you, Grandpa Nahir. I won't let you down." "I know you won't, my child. Now go, tell your family. You must set out tomorrow morning." When Corel returned home, her parents were in the living room. She took a deep breath and told them everything. They looked at her with skepticism at first, but when Corel showed them the starstone and they saw the glowing lights inside, everything changed. Her mother hugged Corel. "My darling, this looks very dangerous." Her father looked into Corel's eyes and saw her determination. "If this is truly your destiny, we cannot stop you, but promise you will be careful." "I promise," Corel said. That night, her mother packed a bag for Corel's journey, putting in bread, cheese, some dried fruit, and a bottle of water. Her father made a small wooden whistle for her. If you are ever in danger, blow this whistle. Its sound travels very far." Corelle hugged her family with happy tears. This was going to be the greatest adventure of her life. Chapter 4. The Whispering Forest. At dawn the next morning, Luna set out with her bag on her back. Gümüş walked ahead of her, tail held high, eyes scanning the surroundings. The magic compass in her hand pointed them north. Once they left the town behind, vast meadows stretched out before them. The morning dew sparkled like jewels on the grass. Butterflies flitted from flower to flower. Luna walked without losing her breath. Gümüş would occasionally stop to chase a butterfly, but never left Luna's side. By noon, they reached the edge of the forest. The trees here were so dense that sunlight barely entered. At the entrance was an old sign, "Whispering Forest, enter with respect." Luna took out some bread and cheese. She shared it with Gümüş, and they rested for a bit. Then they entered the forest. As they went deeper, the forest became quieter. Even the bird songs had stopped. But as Luna paid attention, she realized it wasn't truly silent. The forest was whispering. The leaves of the trees rustled even though there was no wind, and the rustling formed words. "Welcome, Star Collector," the trees whispered. Luna looked around in surprise. "Thank you," she said softly. The trees rustled as if laughing. "A kind child, a good heart." The magic compass guided Luna deeper into the forest. The path grew narrower, tree roots crossed over the trail, and Luna had to step carefully. After a while, they saw a magnificent tree in the middle of the forest. This tree was so large that its trunk was as wide as a house, and its top reached into the sky. High on a branch, there was a glowing nest. "The nest of the wise owl," the trees whispered. "But be careful, the owl will ask a riddle." Luna came to the foot of the tree and looked up. "Wise owl, I am Luna, the star collector. I've come for the second crystal." There was a moment of silence. Then a deep voice came from above. "Whoo, star collector, I have been expecting you." A giant owl flew down from the nest. Its feathers were silver and its eyes were like gold. It was so large that Luna looked very small beside it. "If you want the second crystal," said the wise owl, "you must answer my 3 riddles correctly. Are you ready?" Luna swallowed. "I'm ready." First riddle. It catches without hands. It runs without feet. What is it? Luna thought. Catches without hands, runs without feet. Suddenly it came to her. A river. It holds the riverbanks and flows. It runs. The wise owl nodded. Correct. Second riddle. Born at night, dies by day. It fears the light, but lives in the dark. What is it? This was harder. Luna thought for a few minutes. Gümüş sat beside her, looking at her. Then Luna remembered. Stars! They appear at night and disappear by day. We can't see them because of the sunlight, but they shine in the dark. Very clever, said the wise owl. Final riddle. It is unseen but felt. You cannot touch it, but it hears you. It is everywhere but nowhere. What is it? This was the hardest riddle. Luna thought for a long time. Unseen but felt. Gümüş meowed. Luna looked at her cat and suddenly understood. Love. You cannot see love, but you feel it. You cannot touch it, but it affects you. It can be everywhere because it is in every heart, but it doesn't take up a physical space. The wise owl flapped its wings. Perfect! You truly are the chosen one, Luna. Here is the second crystal. The owl flew to its nest and returned with a brilliant blue crystal. He gave it to Luna. When she placed it next to the star stone, the two glowed toward each other, shining like two stars in the sky for a moment. The second crystal is the wisdom crystal, said the owl.
It will give you the power to make the right decisions in difficult times. Now go, the third crystal awaits you. It is in the Echo Cave, under the protection of the mountain dragon. Chapter 5. The Journey to Echo Cave. When Luna left the Whispering Forest, the sun had begun to set. The path ahead climbed toward the mountains. Grandpa Nihar had marked it on the map. Echo Cave was high up among the mountains. Luna decided to set up camp under a tree. She took a blanket from her bag, and she and Gümüş huddled together for warmth. The sky was full of stars. Luna looked at the 2 crystals in her hand. They were glowing, as if answering the stars in the sky. "Astro," Luna whispered, "are you there?" A soft voice came from inside the starstone. "I am here, Luna. You are doing very well, but the journey ahead will be harder." "The mountain dragon? Is it dangerous?" "Dragons are misunderstood creatures. They are guardians. You must show your good intentions. You must overcome your fear and be brave." Luna took a deep breath. "I can do it. I have to." The next morning, she woke up early. They began climbing the mountains. The path was rocky and difficult. Gümüş climbed with agile cat-like steps, but Luna stumbled a few times. Her hands were irritated by the stones, but she did not give up. In the afternoon, they entered the clouds. It was misty and cold. Luna wrapped her coat tightly around her. Gümüş meowed to encourage her. Toward evening, they saw a giant cave entrance on the mountainside. The mouth of the cave was so big that a ship could enter it. Strange sounds came from around the cave, echoes, whispers, songs. "Echo Cave," Luna said. The magic compass pointed directly into the cave. Luna bravely entered the cave. It was dark at first, but as Luna moved forward, crystals glowing on the walls began to provide light. The cave was incredibly beautiful. Stalactites hung from the ceiling, stalagmites rose from the ground, and they all glowed in different colors. With every step, echoes formed. Luna's footsteps were repeated hundreds of times. "Hello," Luna tried. Her voice echoed through the cave. "Hello! Hello! Hello!" Deep inside the cave was a giant hall. In the middle of the hall, a giant dragon was sleeping. Its scales shimmered in all the colors of the rainbow. As it breathed in and out, thin smoke came from its nostrils. Luna swallowed. Her heart was beating fast, but she remembered she had to be brave. "Mr. Dragon," she said loudly, "I am Luna, the star collector. I've come for the 3rd crystal." The dragon's eyes slowly opened. They were like emerald green, and as it looked at Luna, she felt completely exposed, as if the dragon was looking into her soul. "Star collector," the dragon thundered. Its voice was so deep that the walls of the cave trembled. "It has been a long time. The last collector came here 50 years ago." "Grandpa Nihar, he's my friend." The dragon raised its head. Its neck stretched longer and longer until its head rested right above Luna. "You are a brave child, but courage is not enough. Show me, are you worthy of saving the dream garden?"
Chapter 6. The Dragon's Trial. The dragon stood up. Its full height was so majestic that Luna had to throw her head back. When the dragon's wings opened, they filled the entire hall. "I will give you a trial," the dragon said. "There are 3 rooms in this cave, a test in each room. Pass them all, and the crystal is yours. Fail, and you will stay in this cave forever." Luna trembled, but kept her head high. "I'm ready." The dragon touched the cave wall with a claw. Suddenly, 3 doors appeared, each glowing in a different color, red, blue, and green.
The first room is the room of courage, the second is the room of compassion, the third is the room of wisdom. You must pass them in order. Begin." Luna walked toward the red door. Gümüş did not leave her side. When she opened the door, they saw a dark corridor. As she walked down the corridor, Luna's greatest fears began to appear. First, spiders. Luna was afraid of spiders. The walls were covered in them. But Luna took a deep breath and remembered that these weren't real, just a test. Without closing her eyes, she walked through the spiders. Then, heights. Luna found herself at the edge of a deep abyss. Just looking down made her dizzy, but a narrow bridge stretched to the other side. Luna swallowed and crossed the bridge step by step. Gümüş leaped gracefully across the gaps. Finally, darkness. Total darkness. Luna could see nothing. She couldn't even see her own hand. But she did not give up. Keeping her hands on the walls, she moved forward slowly. Gümüş's meowing guided her. Suddenly, light appeared. Luna had emerged from the room of courage. She was out of breath, but proud. "I did it!" The blue door was now before her. When Luna entered, she saw a very different room. It was like a garden, but the flowers were wilted and the trees were dried up. In the center, sitting on a stone bench, was a small mouse. The mouse was crying. Luna approached. "Why are you crying, little mouse?" The mouse looked at Luna. "I was the guardian of this garden, but I am old and sick now. I can no longer water my garden or look after the flowers. They are all dying." Luna's heart sank. She looked at her bag. It only had a little water left, water for herself. But then she saw the sadness in the mouse. Without hesitation, she took out her water bottle and began to water the garden. She gave a little water to every flower and every tree. When the water ran out, a miracle happened. The flowers began to come to life. Colors returned and the trees turned green. The mouse jumped with joy. "Thank you! You are very compassionate." The room vanished, and Luna found herself back in the main hall. 2 rooms passed, 1 left. The green door opened. Inside, hundreds of riddles were written on the walls. In the center was a sphere, and inside the sphere, a bright yellow crystal. A voice echoed in the cave. "The final test. The answer to all these riddles is the same. Find that answer, and the crystal is yours." Luna began to read the riddles. "You cannot see it with your eyes, but you feel it with your soul. If you give it, it increases. If you hold it, it decreases. The world's strongest weapon, the softest touch. It knows no language, but speaks all languages." Luna thought, what were all these riddles describing? Suddenly, she remembered the wise owl's last riddle. The answer was the same. "Love," she said loudly. "The answer is love." The sphere glowed and burst. The yellow crystal floated in the air and landed in Luna's hand. The crystal was warm, and when Luna held it, she felt a sweet warmth in her heart. The dragon appeared before Luna. This time, there was respect in its eyes. "You passed all 3 tests, young collector. Your courage, compassion, and wisdom are real. The 3rd crystal, the courage crystal, is yours." Luna bowed her head in gratitude. "Thank you, great dragon. What is your name?" "They call me Zümrüt, Emerald. I have guarded this cave for hundreds of years. Now go. Your mission is not yet finished. There are 4 crystals left." "Where can I find them?" Luna asked. The fourth crystal is in the silent desert with the sand whisperer. The fifth is in the glacial sea in the palace of the ice queen. The sixth is in the valley of shadows in the hands of the night guardian. And the seventh is the hardest in the cloud castle with the dark cloud himself. Luna swallowed. These sounded like very distant places. How will I get there? Zumrit smiled. A dragon's smile could look quite scary, but Luna was no longer afraid. I will give you a gift. The dragon shook one of its wings, and a small, shiny scale fell off. This is one of my scales. When you are in danger, drop the scale on the ground and call me. I will help you. Luna took the scale and tucked it safely into her pocket. Thank you very much, Zumrit.
When Luna and Gümüş emerged from the cave, the stars were shining. Now she had 3 crystals, and each glowed in a different color: the red starstone, the blue wisdom crystal, and the yellow courage crystal. The magic compass was now pointing south toward the deserts. Luna descended from the mountains and walked for several days. The landscape slowly changed. Green forests gave way to sandy plains. The air grew hotter and hotter. On the way, she stopped at a small village. The villagers welcomed Luna warmly and gave her food and water. An old woman gave Luna a piece of light white cloth. "To protect you from the sun and the desert," she said. "And be careful, young traveler, the desert is dangerous, especially the silent desert." "Why is it called silent?" Luna asked. The old woman shook her head. "Because those who enter rarely return. It is so silent there that you cannot even hear your own thoughts. People get lost there. They lose themselves." Luna was determined. "I must go, but thank you for your advice." The next morning, she woke up early and set out toward the desert. At first, the desert looked beautiful. The golden sands sparkled in the sun, and hills stretched out in waves. But as the hours passed, the heat became unbearable. Luna wrapped the white cloth around her head. Gümüş walked beside her, but the cat's steps had slowed down. Every now and then they would stop, drink water, and rest. In the afternoon, they noticed something strange. There truly was silence. No bird sounds, no wind sounds, nothing. Only endless silence. Luna tried to speak, but her voice sounded strange, muffled and distant. Even Gümüş wasn't meowing anymore. The compass guided them deeper into the desert. As the sun set, they saw a strange structure in the distance. Among the sand dunes, there was something that looked like an old temple. When they reached the temple, Luna was completely exhausted. They went inside. It was cool and shaded. There were old paintings on the walls, pictures of sand, wind, and the desert. In the middle of the temple, a figure sat in a meditation pose. At first, Luna thought it was a statue, but then the figure moved. "Welcome, star collector." The voice was even slower than a whisper, but Luna heard it clearly. The figure stood up. She was a tall, slender woman. Her skin was the same color as the sand, and her hair moved like the wind. "I am Sahara, the sand whisperer. I have been expecting you." "I am looking for the 4th crystal," said Luna. Sahara smiled. "I know, but first, tell me, what did you find in the silence?" Luna thought. While walking in the desert, what had she felt within the silence? "I found myself," she said at last. "When there were no outside voices, I heard my inner voice. I understood what my heart wanted, what was right." Sahara nodded in approval. "That is why the desert is silent. It gives people the chance to listen to themselves. Most people are afraid of that, but you were not. The 4th crystal, the inner peace crystal, is yours." Sahara walked to a corner of the temple and brought out a green crystal. She handed it to Luna. "This crystal will give you the power to find peace in chaotic times." Luna took the crystal. Now she had 4.
Thank you, Sahara. Where should I go now? North, to the glacial sea, but be careful, it is very cold there, and the Ice Queen, she is a difficult trial. Let me give you a gift. Sahara raised her hand, and the sands began to dance. The sands came together to form a small hourglass. This will save you time. In a dangerous situation, turn the glass, and time will stop for 1 minute, and you can escape or make a plan. But you can only use it once. Luna took the hourglass and thanked her.
Journey to the glacial sea. Getting out of the desert took several days. Luna and Gümüş were tired but determined. When they returned to the village, the villagers were shocked. "You returned from the silent desert," they said. "A miracle!" Luna smiled at them but didn't speak much. She refilled her bag, took more food and water, and headed north toward the cold lands. The landscape changed again. From the hot desert, they entered temperate regions, then cold forests. The trees were pine trees, and it had started to snow. Luna wore the thick coat her mother had given her. Gümüş's fur puffed up to stay warm. The air was getting colder and colder. After a few days, they reached the glacial sea. It was completely frozen. The sky was gray, the sea was white. The wind was sharp and merciless. In the distance, atop the ice, a palace shimmered. It was made of ice and sparkled in all the colors of the rainbow in the sunlight. But how would they get to the palace? Walking on the ice was dangerous. Luna made a staff from a tree branch and began to move forward carefully. With every step, there was a chance the ice would crack. Gümüş was more agile and went ahead of Luna, showing the safe path. They walked for hours. Luna's fingers and toes were numb. Finally, they reached the palace. The palace door was open. When they entered, they froze in astonishment. The palace was magnificent. The walls were made of ice, but were transparent, letting light pass through them. The ceilings were filled with crystal chandeliers. Everything was sparkling. In the throne room, sitting on an ice throne, was the Ice Queen. Her hair was white as snow. Her eyes were like icy blue. She was beautiful, but her gaze was cold. "Star collector?" said the queen. Her voice was icy, sharp, and cold. "What courage to come here!" Luna was shivering, but kept her head high. "I've come to get the 5th crystal, Queen." The Ice Queen stood up. "A crystal? Interesting. And why should I give it to you? You are just a little girl, weak, fragile." "Maybe I am weak in body," said Luna, "but I am strong in spirit. I've collected 4 crystals so far. I will not give up." The queen laughed coldly. "Fair words, but words are not enough. I will give you a trial. If you are successful, the crystal is yours. If you fail, you will remain in this glacial palace forever as an ice statue." Luna swallowed, but was determined. "I'm ready." Chapter 10. The Valley of Shadows. When Luna left the glacial sea, she headed east. The magic compass guided her beyond the mountains to the Valley of Shadows. The journey was long. Luna had been away from home for several weeks now. She missed her family, but was determined. Only 2 crystals were left. When she reached the Valley of Shadows, it was night. The valley was exactly like its name, filled with shadows. The trees were so dense that even the moonlight couldn't enter. Everything was shrouded. Luna and Gümüş entered the valley carefully. They heard sounds, rustles, whispers, mysterious noises, but they couldn't see anything. "Who's there?" Luna called out. A shadow moved, then another. Slowly, shadows surrounded Luna, but these weren't ordinary shadows. They had shapes, they had forms. One shadow stepped forward. "Star collector," a deep voice said.
At last you have come." "Are you the night guardian?" Luna asked. "Yes, I am the guardian of the night, of the shadows. People usually see night and darkness as evil, but night is not evil. Night is a time for rest, a time for dreaming, a time for being reborn." Luna nodded. "I understand. I am looking for the sixth crystal." "The crystal is here," said the night guardian. "But first, show me, do you understand the night? Can you accept the darkness?" Luna thought. "Darkness can be scary, but without darkness, we wouldn't know the value of light. Without night, we wouldn't see the stars. Darkness is not the opposite of light, but its complement." The night guardian murmured with satisfaction, "You are wise, young collector. Here is the sixth crystal, the balance crystal." The guardian handed Luna a black crystal. It was dark, but tiny stars twinkled inside it, just like the night sky. "This crystal will give you the power to find balance between light and dark, happiness and sadness, day and night." Luna took the crystal. Now she had 6. Only one was left, the hardest one. "The last crystal is in the cloud castle," said the night guardian, "beside the dark cloud. It is very hard to reach. The castle is in the sky, among the clouds. You will have to fly there." "But how will I fly?" asked Luna. "Remember all the guardians. They all gave you gifts. Use those gifts and call your friends. You are not alone." Luna nodded. The night guardian gave Luna one final gift, a shadow cloak. "This cloak will make you invisible. It will be useful when entering the dark cloud's castle." Chapter 11. Preparation for the Cloud Castle. Luna emerged from the Valley of Shadows and came to an open area. She now had 6 crystals and had to prepare to get the last one. She pulled out the map Grandpa Nahir had given her. Cloud Castle was marked in the sky. To get there, she had to fly. Luna thought of all the gifts she had received: the magic compass from Grandpa Nahir, the wooden whistle from her father, wisdom from the wise owl, the dragon scale from Zumrit, the hourglass from Sahara, the ice necklace from the Ice Queen, the shadow cloak from the Night Guardian, and the 6 crystals: the Star Stone, wisdom, courage, inner peace, hope, and balance crystals. Luna took a deep breath. She took Zumrit's scale in her hand. "Zumrit," she called out, "I need your help." The sky thundered, the clouds opened, and the giant dragon appeared. It landed, flapping its wings. "You called, Star Collector? How can I help?" "I must reach the Cloud Castle. Will you teach me how to fly?" Zumrit laughed. "I cannot teach you how to fly, but I can carry you. Come, climb onto my back." Luna excitedly climbed onto Zumrit's back. Gümüş settled in beside her. The dragon flapped its wings and rose into the air. Flying was an incredible feeling. The wind hit Luna's face, and clouds passed around them. Below, the world looked tiny. They flew for hours. The sun began to set, and the sky turned shades of orange and pink. Luna took some food from her bag and shared it with Gümüş. When night fell, they saw something dark in the distance. Among the clouds, a black castle rose. The castle was ugly and terrifying. Its walls were covered with dark energies. "Cloud Castle," said Zumrit. "Be careful, Luna. The dark cloud is very powerful. He took over the dream garden, and now he controls it. If you enter, he will fight you." "I'm ready," said Luna, but there was a small tremor in her voice. Zumrit landed near the castle. "From here, you must go alone, but remember, your friends are with you. When you need them, they will all come." Luna climbed down from the dragon. "Thank you, Zumrit, for everything." As Luna walked against the darkness with courage in her heart and her friends by her side, the brightest star in the sky was now about to be born in her hands.